everyone, and welcome to Image One TV, brought to you by the people at Image One Camera and Video in Riverside, California. I am Dustin Thompson, and today I want to be talking to you a little bit about the Lumix Zs100 by Panasonic. The other week, Shotty the owner calls me up and he says, "I've got this amazing new little camera that you need to come and try." And so I'm like, oh, I can't wait to get my hands on it. Today we're going to go over some of the features of this incredible new camera. One of the things that I loved at first sight was its size. Like with other micro 4/3 cameras, it is small enough to fit in your pocket. This comes in handy when traveling as well as when shooting in public places and amusement parks. I've taken a lot of heat when doing photography in public places like landmarks or theme parks, especially when you show up with a camera like this. Chances are they're either going to want a permit or they're going to just throw you out altogether. But if you show up with a little camera like this, chances are you're going to fly right under the radar and you're going to get some great photos while doing it. And the other thing is, this lens here is a 70-200. This is a 25-250, which means you get even more zoom. Its small size mixed with the indentation on the front makes one-handed operation a breeze. And at 11 ounces with the battery inside, carrying this around all day is not a problem. This camera is packing a 1-inch sensor that delivers 20.1 megapixels of photographic awesomeness. And it also has 5-axis image stabilization to help with low light situations. The lens has a 10x zoom, which equals 25 to 250 millimeters of Leica approved high quality glass, which consists of 12 elements in 10 groups, with 5 of those being movable. If you're confused, just know that this means you're getting some pretty sweet glass. I found the focus to be really snappy and fast. It is claimed to focus in just 1/10 of a second. This is due to the implementation of 49 focus points, as well as both face and eye tracking. It is also completely silent. The focus motors are whisper quiet, and the shutter has a silent mode. So you don't have to worry about ruining some beautiful moment with a loud ratcheting focus motor or some annoying mirror slap. If you're wondering how good the 4K video is on this camera, well, look no further, because not only did Image One supply me with one of these cameras, but they gave me 2. That's right, this video is being recorded on one right now. 2 cameras? I mean, if that doesn't make you jealous, I don't know what will. But one thing to know is when you're videoing in 4K, it's going to be using a crop factor. So it's going to turn your lens from a 25-250 into a 37-370, which might come in a lot of handy when you're doing sports videos or anything where you need that extra little bit of zoom. Another thing that I really like about this camera is that you can pretty much use it however you want to use it. If you're a beginner or someone that doesn't really care to mess with controlling the settings, you can switch it to auto and use it just like a point and shoot. If you're more serious about photography, you can use it like a DSLR. This includes being able to shoot in RAW or JPEG, and it makes it really nice for a wide variety of users or someone that's looking to grow their skills in photography. The aperture on this camera when zoomed all the way out can open up all the way to f2.8, making it perfect for low light situations or when you want that nice soft background behind your subject. When zoomed all the way in, however, it can use a minimum aperture of f5.9. And both zoom ranges can be stopped down to an aperture of f8, which I believe is around what the human eye can see at. I was quite impressed with the way that this camera handled higher ISO settings. The first night I had it, I was just walking around my house taking random pictures. Here's one of my cat Kopi. It's nothing special, but if you zoom in, you'll notice how great the detail is. This shot was taken at 1600 ISO. Pretty impressive, right? But get ready for this. Because of the great stabilization that this camera has, I was able to take this handheld at 1/5 of a second. I'm pretty sure that's a new record for me. This camera comes with the same autofocus and processor as some of Panasonic's other mirrorless models. It also features some of the same scene modes and filters. There are seriously a ton on there. If you're feeling like shooting in black and white or several other modes, you can play with it until your heart's content. There's also a mode called 4K Photo. This is pretty neat. What it does is it drops the megapixel count down from 20.1 to 8.3. Now you may be saying, no, what's the fun in that? The reason it does this is because now this little camera will be shooting at a blistering fast 30 frames per second. You shoot the photos, then you go through it and you choose your favorites. This would be great if you're shooting sports or action and you want to grab that exact moment. I really enjoyed the touchscreen. It's really nice at 3 inches and makes navigating the menus extremely easy. You can even do cool stuff like move the histogram around. There are also tons of buttons on the back to make it even more user-friendly. Everything seemed really well labeled, and I was able to pick the camera up and have the hang of it in just a couple minutes. The camera has built-in Wi-Fi. This connects to a very well-designed app called Image App. Using this, you can connect your smartphone to your camera and do all sorts of awesome things like remotely operate your camera. You can zoom, change settings, focus, record videos, and more. And when you take an awesome shot, as long as it's a JPEG, you can send it right over to your phone, so it's easy to share with all of your new Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat fans. Post focus is a really cool feature. What it does is it takes several photos that are focused on different areas of your scene. Then you go in afterwards and choose the part of your photo that you want to be sharp. This could be the end of blurry photos as we know it. This camera has a very small yet mighty electronic viewfinder. If you're shooting in manual modes, the viewfinder will give you a representation of how dark or bright your photo is going to be when the shutter release is half pressed. And if it's too dark, fear not. It has a built-in pop-up flash. I had a great couple days with the ZS100. Here are a couple of the shots that I got with it. Well, that's going to do it for this video. I hope you learned a lot about this exciting new camera, and I'm really impressed with all the features that they packed into such a tiny little body. If you have any questions about it, or if you want to try it out for yourself, come on into Image One Camera and Video in Riverside and tell them Dustin sent you. Until next time, I'm Dustin Thompson, and I'll talk to you soon.